Good morning, all my dear students. In the last class, as I have given you an introduction and some new words from the lesson number 4, the plant story, EVS of class 5. As you can see in the board, today I am giving you 2 questions. The first question is, what is the function of the seed code? As I told you in the last class, I will be giving you some sort of question and answers from what I have taught you last. So the first question, as you can see, is what is the function of the seed coat, and the next question is why growing plant is important. As I have already discussed you about the function of the seed coat and seed germination, and also I have discussed with you about the importance of growing of plant. So I will be discussing the question answers later on. First, let us discuss the lesson what we have done in the last class. We have done the introduction from the plant story, where we have learned about the structure of the seeds, as well as I have told you about seed germination, the stages of seed germination, what are the requirements by the seeds for such as a seed need right amount of water, air, sunlight and warmth to germinate. So as I told you in the last class, we will be doing question answer as well as some new paragraph. So the next paragraph I am starting today is, do all plants grow from seeds? So the paragraph is, do all plants grow from seeds? So the paragraph is like many plants reproduce through seeds. Many plants were there, as you can see, most of the plants grow from seeds, but some plants are there which could be grown from their branches itself. So many plants reproduce through seeds, however some plants reproduce from their vegetative parts. Stems or stems, roots and leaves are the vegetative parts of the plant. Let us find out how plants grow from this part. So we are going to learn in this class about how, by using different vegetative parts of the plant, new plants can be grown. So the topic of the paragraph is growing plant from stems. So how to use stems of a particular plant to convert it into new plant. So the paragraph is, some plants grow from the stems of the parent plant. Some plants are there which grow from the stems of the parent plants. Parent plants means the main plants. These stems, when placed in soil, grow into a new plant. Such as some of the examples are given, such as potato and ginger are underground stems. These are actually the underground stems. What? Potato and ginger. They grow into new plants from small buds present on their surface called eyes. As you can see in the potato, in your kitchen room also you can see potato which have little small structure which are evolving, which are known as eyes of potato. Potatoes are actually, they used to be inside the soil, but they are not the roots of the plant, they are the stems of the plant. And the same goes to ginger as well. So they grow into new plants from small buds present in their surface called eyes. Some plants grow from stem cutting as well. A piece of the stem of the parent plant is cut and planted in the soil. The stem cutting produces new roots and grows into a new plant. Rose, money plant and hibiscus are grown using stem cutting. So first of all, as I have discussed you now about potatoes, how the eyes of potatoes help them to grow into new plants. In the same way, some plants can be grown with the help of stem cutting. By cutting the stem itself and after digging it inside the soil, and once that stem gets proper amount of warmth, air and sunlight and water and nutrition from the soil, it can grow into new plant. Some of the example of such plants are hibiscus, then money plant, then rose. And hibiscus are grown using stem cutting. Next point is growing plants from roots. Some of the plants are there which can be grown from roots itself, such as examples are sweet potatoes, carrot, radish, turnip are root of the plants that store food. So these are the roots of the plants which we eat. It store food on the root itself, such as carrot. So carrot and radish are what? They are the root itself. And the plant store its food on the root. So sweet potato, carrot, radish and turnip are roots of plant that store food. The top portion of the carrot and the root of dahlia, when planted in soil, grow into new plants from the roots. So the top portion of the carrot the top portion of the carrot, when if we cut the top portion of the carrot and planted it on the soil, and once it get proper amount of warmth, air and sunlight, then it will grow into new plant. The next point is growing plant from leaves. So as of we have learned about how plant can be grown from stem, how plant can be grown from roots. Now the paragraph is growing plants from leaves. How new plant can be grown from by using a leaf only. So in plants such as begonia and bryophyllum, young plants can be grown from well developed leaves. So these are the plants from which the leaves can be taken off, and if you place it in the soil, once that leaf get proper amount of air, warmth, sunlight, it can develop itself into a new plant. While these leaves are still attached to the branch, they are found on the edges of the leaves. Once this young plant develop, they drop off or detach themselves from the parent plant. They grow into new plants in the moist soil. So these plants, as I told you the name, begonia and bryophyllum, these are the plants when it grow up fully, and when it has lots of leaves, the leaves get matured, it falls off on the ground. And in the ground, once it gets the proper amount of warmth, nutrition from the soil and sunlight, then from the leaf itself, new plants could be grown. So this is the process of growing plants from leaves. Next point is growing plants from spores. So how growing plants from spores is possible? In this paragraph we are going to know. In some plants such as ferns, mushroom as you all know, mushroom and mosses, new plants grow from spores. So these are the plants from spores they used to grow new plants. Spores are very light and tiny powdery structure. In ferns, spores are present on the back of the leaves as brown rings. So this is the process how from spores new plants can be grown. So what are the plants on which from spores new plants can be grown, such as fern, mushroom and mosses. In the same way, growing plants from leaves, as I have given example, begonia and bryophyllum. These are the plants from which from their leaves itself new plants can be grown. And in the next, growing plants from roots, as just we have learned the examples of such plants from which their roots itself new plants can be grown are sweet potato, carrot, radish and turnip. The same way, growing plants from stem, as I told you, potato, ginger, then stem cutting are such as rose, hibiscus. So in this lesson, in this paragraph, we have learned about growing plants from stem, then growing plants from roots, then growing plants from leaves, then growing plants from spores. In the next class, we will be discussing about dispersal of seeds. The dispersal of seeds means if seeds are sown very closely to each other, they struggle for space, light, air, water and nutrition. Therefore, it is necessary that seeds are scattered. Scattered means dispersed. So, I will be explaining this topic in the next class. So, let us start. Let me explain you the questions which I have given you from the earlier classes which we have done. The first question is, what is the function of a seed coat? So seed coat, as of now I have told you already what is the meaning of seed coat. Seed coat means the outer structure, outer covering of a seed. So what is the function of the seed coat? So what is the function of whatever we wear, such as in the cold winter season we used to wear coats for what? So in the same way, what is the function of the seed coat? The function of the seed coat is to protect the baby plant, like our coat or our blazer protect our body from the winter. In the same way, the seed coat protects the baby plant inside. As I told you in the last class, a small baby plant embryo used to be there inside the coat, inside the seed. That baby plant is to be protected by this seed coat. So this is the function, to protect the baby plant inside. Question number 2 is, why growing plant is important? What is the importance of growing plant? Why growing plant is important? Why everyone should grow plant? Growing plant is important because it provides us all the basic requirements for survival, such as, so growing plant is important because it provides us all the basic requirements for our survival. Whatever we need for our life, whatever we need for our survival, each and everything mostly provided by plant. That's why growing plant is necessary and we should grow plants. So what are the things the plant provides us? Our first number is food. then B is air, which is oxygen, then C is shelter and cloths. So shelter and cloths means from plants we get certain amount of thing which can be converted into shelter and cloth as well. So in this class I have discussed with you two questions from the earlier class. In the next class I will be giving you new questions from whatever I have discussed today, and as well as I will be discussing about dispersal of seed. Till then, thank you.